Welcome to Homebuyers School, brought to you by Brookfield Residential. Get ready to learn strategies, tactics, and tips on the home buying process. Join Carl Ye as he talks with experts with the savvy and experience to help you find your perfect home.
Hello and welcome to another edition of Homebuyers School. I'm your host, Carl Ye. This is Corey McDonald, Community Manager with Brookfield Residential. And in this episode, we're going to answer the question I think a lot of people really want to know is, one, can I actually negotiate a home purchase price? And what's the best way to do it?
100%. I always tell people it never hurts to ask. Right? You're never going to get anything if you don't ask for it. With that being said, I can't always guarantee that what you're asking is going to be accepted, or if whoever you're buying from is going to be able to negotiate. It does play into effect a lot of variables. There's a lot of variables that would go into, is that seller willing to take a little bit less in order to move the home quickly, or are their margins too slim and they can't sell it for that low of a cost. So I think the biggest one that would play into effect would be just the general state of the market. Right? Is the market dictating that there should be some leeway in the price, or is it saying the opposite? Is it saying that you're getting the best possible value at this time? So that does play definitely into the ability to negotiate, specifically on resale as well. If your home isn't selling right for the price that you have it listed, means you're priced ineffectively and you should be negotiating or looking at changing the price. Again, variables that would differentiate this would be larger homes. If you're looking at a multi-million-dollar estate home, on average they're going to take longer to sell just because there's not as many of those buyers.
LeBron James trying to buy your house, probably not.
Exactly, right?
Unless he's
So as you get to more affordable price homes, there's more of a market for those. So those are typically into the lower average days on market. Right. So as far as resale, that's typically what plays into your leverage for negotiating.
No, is there a difference between resale and a new home?
There would be. Right? And the biggest thing would be what it costs a builder to build a home. Again, it would really depend on the size of the home and the style of purchase. But a lot of the people that come in and look at a new builder and say, these are big corporations and they have so much money they're making. Look how much money I'm spending on a home. They have room. They can drop $50,000, $60,000, $100,000 on the price of the home and still make $300,000 to $700,000 on the home. And that's not the case, right? Especially with labor costs and the costs of land that the house is being built on. The margins aren't actually as big as one would initially think, right? Especially as you get into, say, the condos, the townhomes, or even some of those single-family homes. Builders have their margins, what they're comfortable making on the home versus what they can sell it for, right? So if they have their ratio and it drops below that, what they're comfortable making on the home, they can't fiscally stay afloat if they're not accepting at least a bare minimum on that price.
Is there a kind of like in your experience, is there like a cutoff that, hey, you know what, I can't really go any lower, but are there any things that you would try to offer?
Sometimes, and a lot of that does depend on the market as well. So, and that has been a way that people have been able to work into, well, if you can't work on the price, is there anything else that can be added? Can I get X amount of months for no condo fees, or can that washer and dryer that I wanted to upgrade to, is there a way that can be included as well? So sometimes that is a really smart way of working around it. Entirely though, it still comes down to what's fair in the market, and is that still affordable for the seller or the builder to be able to go forward with.
And in your opinion, like, I'm sure you've worked with a lot of customers and they've come in with a number of offers. Do you have any advice or best ways to negotiate that purchase price? Because I'm hoping someone is going to come to you and use the exact same advice on yours.
No, and here's an interesting point. Is some of it is cultural, right? That there are some cultures that like negotiating, and they don't feel they're being respected if they don't get a deal, right? Or if they don't at least present an opportunity to negotiate. And sometimes you have to be as sensitive to those different cultural beliefs. But at the same time, sometimes as a seller, as a builder, your hands are tied as far as what margins we can make and the actual building cost of the homes and what we're saying is fair market value of the home. So obviously we want to be able to be respectful
Yeah.
when accepting an offer or
Yeah.
when presenting one
Yeah.
too. Everybody always has the ability to walk away, right?
Yeah.
And that's what plays into this,
Yeah.
is that if it's not the right fit, if it's outside of your comfort level for financing,
Yeah.
then you have the right to walk away.
Yeah.
But it has to be good for both parties in
Yeah.
order to be a successful sale.
Makes sense. Makes
Yeah.
sense. Any other tips that you like when you go in and negotiate with a salesperson?
Mm-hmm.
What are some of the things that you would try to?
It helps to be educated, right?
Okay.
And then sometimes
So watching these videos.
these videos would be a fantastic way to get yourself educated.
Yeah.
But whether that's even going on some websites that have MLS listings,
Yeah.
or using a realtor professional to get some of that information. So if you have some of the market equivalents in that area, say, hey, here's 3 of the homes that
Yeah.
have sold in the last 60 days. Here's
Yeah.
what their fair market value was. And this is why I think that we should be able to purchase at X price versus
Yeah.
what you're advertising.
Yeah.
Because having that definitely
Yeah.
can sway a little bit, right?
Yep.
I can't always guarantee that that's going to work based on the times and what the
Yeah.
economy is saying, but that definitely helps, is if you are educated, and instead of just picking a random,
Number.
yeah,
Yeah.
as close to free as possible, let's get there, right? Instead of just throwing that number out there.
So, and that goes into to another question is how do I decide what to offer for the home? Like, yeah, I can try to meet you at the price, but what are some of the things that I need to consider on when I'm making that offer?
This kind of ties into another point,
Yeah.
is before even looking for a
Yeah.
home, it really helps if you know what's important to you
Yeah.
in your home. And I'm not thinking specific upgrades. I'm not
Yeah.
thinking specific, it has to have
Yeah.
3 bedrooms, but what makes the most sense for your lifestyle,
Yeah.
right? Are you okay with 2 bedrooms because it's just you and a roommate, or you and a guest room? You have a family. You would need space for the family, or,
Yeah.
or a yard space to play, or something close
Yeah.
by with parks. So figuring out what needs in a home are going to fit your lifestyle.
Yeah.
And that's the most important thing. If you need that in a home, then that's what you have to be able to present with the offer. That has to be something that you're considering
Okay.
with the purchase of the home.
Yeah.
So if you've got 6 kids and
Yeah.
the rinky-dink washer and dryer that's
Yeah.
being presented, you want to get that as well. That's an item that makes more
okay.
sense for your
Okay.
lifestyle, right?
Yeah.
So instead of just saying I want upgraded countertops
Yeah.
just for the sake of having
Yeah.
countertops.
Great countertops.
Exactly, right? If it's something that meets your lifestyle, if
Yeah.
it's something that you need in the home based on what you're looking for,
Yeah.
then that's maybe a better way to approach, okay, this is something I need, this is why I need it in the home, as opposed to just give me free. Right?
Okay.
I just want free for the sake of
Yeah,
free.
yeah, yeah. So, do you have any other tips from a negotiation perspective?
Never hurts to ask. I just
Yeah.
kind of repeat it, right? You're not always going to get the answer you want.
Yeah. But
Never hurts to ask.
for sure.
Right?
All right. Well, thank you very much. That was excellent today. Definitely something that when I'm purchasing my home, I'll definitely think of, especially the lifestyle, right? And ensuring that that home meets the lifestyle that I want. right?
Absolutely.
Anyway, that's it for today's episode. We'll catch you next time.
That's another edition of Homebuyer School. Tune in next time for more expert tips and tricks. And visit homebuyersschool.ca to bring you one step closer to finding your dream home. As with everything, it would be great if you like and share our videos. Also, please let us know if you have any home buying questions you want us to answer.